Aussies love the Toyota Landcruiser, so much so that Australia is still the biggest marketplace for the 70 series Landcruiser. Behind us, we got an 80 series Landcruiser. Because you guys behind the camera keep telling me this is the best Landcruiser Toyota ever made, we're gonna put it to the test, guys. This is freshly imported from Japan. It has the legendary inline six, 4.2 liter turbo diesel. We're gonna review this thing today. We're gonna go for a drive, check out its quirks, and we will launch it. So make sure you stick around and let's get into it. Now, driving this 80 series Landcruiser, guys. This is a 1995 model, and when these first came out, the J80 series was first introduced in 1990. So this thing is literally as old as I am. And I gotta tell you though, this thing is pretty damn sweet to drive. I gotta admit it. Now let's just get into the good stuff with this thing, because under the bonnet, this is one of the most sought after engines Toyota's ever made. So this is a direct injection diesel turbo straight six. Thing makes about 155 horsepower and about 265 pound-foot of torque. Yes, that does not sound like a crazy figure, but this engine, it is just proven itself. You can modify this thing. It absolutely just rocks. And even just driving this thing, man, I can notice it shoots a lot of soot out the back. I do not know if that is a normal trait for these vehicles, but man, you punch it, it drives pretty hard, and you just see this massive black soot coming out the back, and it is just hilarious. I've done this through town a couple of times, man, and this thing is a behemoth on the road. It really is, you know. 4-speed, automatic in this one. We got high and low range. It's going down a couple of these little embankments, you know. This thing is just a bush basher. You can really just make your own trail in this thing. You know, we're not even close to pushing the limits of what this thing could actually do. And, you know, we got to remember this thing is actually for sale, so we're not going to go too hard in the bush here. But a huge thank you to Vans West here in Perth for letting us take out this 80 series Landcruiser. It is for sale, so if you guys are interested, a link for it is in the description below. Just get on it a little bit here again. And you can hear the turbo as well. And then you look in the back, my goodness. Leave it in the comments again. Is that normal? Is that actually normal? There is just like a huge cloud behind us. It's something like you would see in America with like a big modified F-250 or something. So just before we continue with this 80 series Landcruiser review, guys, please make sure you do hit that big red subscribe button and click the bell notifications so you do get updated on all our weekly uploads. And let's just pull off into this trail, bush bash a bit, boys. Man, I absolutely love just cruising out here. And the fact this thing is so big, just nothing even touches it. You know what I mean? Like, it just goes over everything. It's just an absolute beast. Now, just doing a walk around on this 80 series, I gotta say, just beginning is just the size of this thing. It's absolutely massive. It is so wide, so big. I picked it up next to a Sahara. This thing made that look like a shrimp. Literally, it's got a 2-inch lift kit. It is running 31-inch BF Goodrich mud tires. This thing looks good, I gotta say, you know. And it, again, just see the wideness of it. It's such a wide vehicle. You got that big square kind of front end with the square headlights, square grille. This being a 1995, these used to actually say Toyota. I'll show you a picture of what that was. This was the first year they put the oval Toyota badge on this. And when you come around, man, like, it is just such a rig. It is. I absolutely love this thing. Big bull bar up the front, that godly engine up front, big wheels, suspension, that's what you want. Far out. And now just at the back, you know, you've got that extra spare tire at the rear. This is pretty cool. You know, you just open up, you pull on this, you pull that down. It is a split open, so the top lifts up, then you can drop the bottom down. And mate, you've got a huge amount of room back here. And those second row seats, they do fold down and then they fold forward, so they sit basically flush right up against the front seats. So when you do that, this has just got so much room back here. And in the front here, this thing feels way ahead of a 70 series. You know, you go into a 70 series, it is just so basic, it's not even funny. There's just literally nothing but a radio, a gear stick, and, you know, a steering wheel. That's all you freaking get. This one, you know, you really kind of do get that mix of, you know, a little bit of luxury, a little bit of functionality, and, you know, it's a little bit more livable, this thing, 100%. You know, it's quite comfortable. You can actually lean your arm here and not have it getting destroyed. You know, the seats are quite comfortable here. It's just a nice place to sit. You know, you do have very 90s retro controls here for the radio. This one does have an aftermarket radio fitted. Still got a handbrake here. You know, you got that 4-speed automatic, easy, typical Toyota controls here. You know, you even got your high-low range down here. It's just pretty nice to use. You know, everything is easy. Even in the back, it's easy. Really good. I gotta say, you know, for four-wheel drives I've personally driven, reviewed, I gotta say, I think this is definitely the best balance, because you're still getting those front and rear diff lockers in this particular one, high-low range, Toyota build quality. It's still got that old school build about it, so it's still super durable. This one being an inline 6 turbo diesel again. It's what everybody wants. You even have these cool gauges up the top here. You know, you've got a sunroof in this as well, so, you know, we can open this up. Having a sunroof is just a really nice luxury. It's great when you want to cool down in here, put the windows down, open that up. Mother Nature air conditioning, you know what I'm talking about, guys. You know, you do have a compass up here. You've got your altimeter, it's called, so this kind of tells you your trajectory, so how much of an angle you're kind of on and stuff like that. And probably most importantly, guys, being the 70 series is renowned for not having a great cup holder, this one does. Pulls out right over the radio, and you also do have a kind of another little one behind the glove box here. So you got a couple to choose from, which is pretty epic. Now, I do not know everything about this 80 series, and I am sure I'm going to get a couple of these facts wrong. So please, guys, share your knowledge in the comment section down below. We love to hear from you guys. If I make a mistake, correct me. And if I miss anything, let everybody else know. We are seriously just making our own way in this 80 series, mate. We are in the middle of nowhere. We're just making our own trail, and from what I can see, mate, this thing is just towering over everything, so we got no issues here whatsoever. My goodness, this thing is pretty fucking cool. Now, these things are not light. These things weigh about 2.2 ton, so it is pretty damn heavy. And when you start modifying this, you know, if you're chucking on roof racks, you know, bull bars, all of this extra accessories, be aware of that, because this thing is pretty damn heavy. Now, just pulling back out onto the road here, guys, so going onto the tarmac, let us find out what this thing is going to do 0 to 100. It is not going to be quick, but in the name of science, we will find out. I'm just going to leave this thing in drive. I'll hit the power button on. Here we go. And the cloud of... Oh, man. I cannot believe... Oh, my God. Are we on fire? Are we on fire? I swear to God. Holy shit. This is... I don't think this car has had a good run out in bloody years, or is this just normal with these inline sixes? I absolutely do not know, but my goodness, we fully just clouded this road. Like, you couldn't even see in the rear view. It was just clouds. Oh, mate. 0 to 100, guys, was done in 17.9 seconds. And holy crap, that is, yeah, it felt like it was that long. It took forever to get this thing to 100 with the power button on. You know, look, if you went from low second to drive, you might have sped it up fractionally, but guys, this thing is not fast. That's not the point of this vehicle. Now let's just talk about price here quickly, because these things obviously were not that cheap. When they came out, they were actually sold here in Australia from new, and they would have set you back about $80,000. So yeah, 1995 money, 80 grand, that's a lot of money. Now on the used market, these things will still set you back quite a bit of change, and really does kind of depend on condition, Ks. Average rate, you're going to be looking around that $30,000 to $45,000 mark. And again, this is for sale at Vans West. A link is in the description. So if you guys want to have a look at this one, just go ahead and click down there. You just feel like the king of the road. And honestly, when you're off-road as well, this thing is kind of the king of the trails as well. So what do you guys think? Put it down in the comments below. Is the 80 series the best Land Cruiser? The best four-wheel drive even? Or what do you guys think is actually number one? So I want to hear from you guys. Put it down in the comments, and maybe we can have a comparison one day.